So a lot of you may be thinking of moving to Michigan, and hey, you're not coming alone. You're bringing that family with you. Well, hey, I'm going to go over some of the details of why I brought my family here, or if you're anything like me, why my wife said, hey, we're moving to Michigan. I'm going to go over some of those details, and maybe you'll be able to find out, is this place a fit for me or not? Well, let's get after it right now. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Travis with the Living in Southeast Michigan team. If you want to learn what it's like to live, eat, sleep, play here, make sure you hit that little subscribe button and the notification bell to make sure you're notified anytime we put out new content. Hey, look, we get people reaching out every single day and we absolutely love it. You can reach me by text, call, email, or whatever method you find best. Hey, look, days, nights, and weekends, I got your back when it comes to moving to Southeast Michigan. Now, hey, let's get to the content. Hey, what I want to cover more specifically today in Southeast Michigan for raising a family is Livingston County. You know, this is where we're raising our family, and I want to give you an idea of where Livingston County is on the map, right? So here we have Livingston County, you know, right here, so you can kind of see it. I kind of highlighted on Google Maps there. So this is Livingston County, and if we're talking Southeast Michigan, if you've seen some of my other videos, this is kind of give you an idea of where we're at here. So this is Southeast Michigan. I mean, sure, you could go a little further or whatever, but so Livingston County, I mean, this is a county. It's on the western side of Southeast Michigan, right? What's great about it, right, is it's a good commuter town, good bedroom community with stuff to do. You know, so I mean, if you're working in Metro Detroit, you can go this way. If you're working up in Flint, you can come up this way. Working down in Ann Arbor, you can go this way. If you're heading over to Lansing, you got options to head that way. So that's just to kind of give you a brief idea. Sorry about my drawing, it's a little bit rough, but I just wanted to give you a brief idea before we go into the topics of where Livingston County is in relation to Southeast Michigan. So number 5 on the list, we're going to talk about real estate. Of course, we got to talk about that. I'm a real estate agent after all. What I'm doing here is we're looking into the MLS, and this is their data. And what I did is I pulled up a couple of different schools, right? Because if you're raising a family, you know, in Livingston County or Southeast Michigan, I mean, one of the biggest things that comes up is schools. I just pulled a couple of schools from Livingston County, one being, you know, Howell School District, another one being Brighton School District. And then I also brought up a couple of other, you know, highly ranked, you know, schools in the area, right? We have Ann Arbor School District and Novi School District. I just wanted to kind of give you a brief idea of what's out there and kind of, you know, what your average price point might be for different school districts. Like I said, you know, Howell, I mean, Howell is the city seat or the county seat of Livingston County, and they have some relatively affordable prices if you're comparing it to, you know, some of the other school districts in the area right now. Granted, I mean, Howell is not in the top 50 schools, but it's certainly got, you know, it's good schools in the area. But for an average price point, right, I mean, they're sitting right at about $350 here. Now, if you're looking at, you know, Brighton schools and Heartland schools are 2 in the top 50, and I'll cover more of that later. But if you're looking at, you know, moving into, you know, Livingston County, you got Howell, you got Brighton, you got Pinckney, you got Fowlerville, you know, Heartland, and you know, Whitmore Lake is part of it as well. But if you're looking to move outside of there, I mean, you got Ann Arbor School District, you got Novi School District. I mean, Ann Arbor is going to be one of the higher price points in the area. This is our neighbors down to the south here in Ann Arbor. We're sitting at about $507,000. You know, where Novi, you're sitting at about $452, right? Which is, it's pretty close up there to Brighton. And what I wanted to kind of go into more detail there is, you know, the property taxes, right? Because I mean, if you're in Livingston County, typically your property taxes are going to be just a little bit lower than, you know, some of the surrounding counties, right? So I mean, if you're looking at, you know, here I have Oakland County, and just for reference, right, I used $100,000 for SEV on all these homes. You know, SEV is a state equalized value for future owners. That's kind of a reference point. And what I have selected here is Oakland County. I have selected Novi, and then Novi Community Schools. And if you're looking here, you're paying at a millage rate of about 35.28. You're paying about $3,500. If you have that same house, if we're looking in, we're going to start with. So if we go to Ann Arbor schools, and let's say I picked up just Ann Arbor Township, it's got a very similar mill rate, you know, 38 versus 35, and you're paying about $3,800. You know, this is annually. But if we're going into, you know, Livingston County, for example, and you have Brighton schools, you're sitting at, about 10 points less, right? So I mean, that's saves you about $1,000 a year for a $100,000 SEV. So that kind of gives you a little idea of how taxes come into play in the different counties. Hey, if you're looking for more information on that, feel free to reach out to me. I can give you more detail. But for this video, that's as far as we'll go for now. Now, there's a couple other nice things when it comes to real estate, in Livingston County. I mean, they do have your city livings. If you want to live in the city of Howell or city of Brighton, they both got wonderful downtowns. Pinckney and Heartland and some of the others. A lot of times in Livingston County, people move here because they want to have more of a rural setting, right? Where it's easier to find a lot more homes with acreage. I mean, a lot of people are looking for, 1 acre plus, or they're looking to get away, not looking to, be breathing down their neighbor's neck, right? And you can find a lot of that here, right? I mean, you can send your kids outside and they can go out and play. You don't have to worry about them. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, that's why we live here. Having that privacy and having that ability to send your kids going out to play. Like I said, we got 5 kiddos, right? I mean, soon to be 6 here, and it's just like, we want to be able to have room for those kids to play. That really comes into play. And also, as I've mentioned before, right, I come from, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's on the other side of the Mackinac Bridge there, right? So, I grew up with a lot of space, and I didn't want to come to a place, I wanted to be in Southeast Michigan. I wanted to be close to everything, being close to metro, all, four major metro areas. You got Detroit to the east, Flint to the north, you got Lansing to the west, and Ann Arbor to the south. I wanted to be close to all that, close to, multiple major airports, but also have, feel like I was more at home, right, where I had space to, move around and be able to breathe, right? That's what I like. So talking acreage and privacy here in Livingston County, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you get, right? I mean, this is our backyard. This is hard to find in other places, right? If you're looking in Southeast Michigan. Now, you'll certainly find that in different townships, across Southeast Michigan. But like I said, a lot of times you might pay for it, So I mean, if you got, this is our backyard. Sorry, it's a little bit sloppy here. We got a bunch of kids. You got a soccer net and some bikes that are left out. But you got some privacy here. We even got the pool open for some winter swimming there. So this is the kind of stuff that you can find in Livingston County. So number 4 on the list is simply, things to do. As I mentioned in previous videos, I mean, Michigan has, over 11,000 lakes. And Livingston County has over, 150 of them, depending on who you're asking. So, I mean, there's all kinds of options, for lake life. You have all sports lakes. You have, no wake lakes where you can, just bring the paddleboard or kayak out there. But like I said, I mean, with the all sports lake, I mean, there's lots with private access. There's lots with, that public access, right? So if you're looking for a house that you might not be, loaded with boats, there's those options. But there's lots of good fishing. I mean, you can get out on the water skis or whatever you like to do. There's also, there's at least a dozen good golf courses in the area. A dozen golf courses, right? And then about 6 or 7 of those are top quality courses in the state of Michigan. And a lot of those, you feel like you kind of get that up north feel, is what they say, right? I mean, you're not, hitting tee shots over houses. Oh yeah! Or whatever that might be. You got a lot of good options here. There's also a lot of good parks you can go to. So not only do we have some of the major parks, like you got Pinckney Recreation Area, you got the Brighton Rec Area, you got Island Lake Rec Area, you got Kensington Metro Park, you got Huron Meadows Metro Park, but you also have a lot of these different townships that have parks. I mean, our kids, we love heading out to the the Osceola Township Park or the Genoa Township Park. They got lots of fun stuff there for the kiddos to play on. I mean, we spend a lot of time out there. Now, you shoppers, you're not left out there either. I mean, we got to shop, right? And we got to have your groceries. You got to have your the clothes and stuff like that. So I mean, we have lots of different shopping options, right? We do have the Costco, we have the Target, we have a couple Walmarts. We got the Kroger, we got all the In home improvement stores, you got Home Depot and Lowe's, and there's just lots of options that you'll find in town, right? I mean, it's like I said, it's not just a bedroom community, right? There's a lot of good shopping options, a lot of good restaurants, whether you're looking for a family-owned restaurant, or if you're looking for more of the franchise restaurants, we got them both, right? So I mean, there's a lot of good options right here in Livingston County. Hey, real quick, before I get to the rest of mine, what's your number one reason that you're thinking about moving your family to Southeast Michigan? I'm interested to see what that is. Drop it down in the comments below. All right, so number 3 reason of moving to Southeast Michigan, in Livingston County in specific, right, is the 4 seasons. 4 seasons, right? We got, winter, spring, summer, fall. And sometimes, hey, those winters might last a little longer, and our spring might be fairly short, and a lot of times, your summer or your fall might be a little bit shortened, right? But we do have the 4 seasons here, right? I mean, a lot of times, you're in the winter and it's like, oh man, this is awesome. I love the snow. I mean, I can't tell you how many times my wife is like, oh, that snow is so pretty. Come this time of the year, now it's middle of March, and it's like, oh man, I can't wait till the snow melts. I can't wait till the grass is green. It's just things change, right? And you look forward to those kind of things, right? If you had one season, you just kind of, you get sick of it. Now, I mean, not everybody. Some people, they like that sunshine all the time. We have some of the most wonderful seasons here. I mean, it's like I said, sometimes they're shorter than others, but like if you're looking at the the fall, for example, we have plenty of forests, plenty of trees, lots of leaves changing. Our summertime is, it's a little bit humid, right? Because you got all the lakes around us, and that keeps the warm air or the air a little bit more moist. But and the other part is your winter, right? I mean, you got the winter like we talked about. Like I said, I grew up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and part of the reason why we decided not to move to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is they get considerably more snow, right? I mean, if that's a perfect thing if you're into into all the outdoor sports as far as like snowmobiling and skiing and stuff like that. But we wanted a little bit less snow, and we enjoyed the 4 seasons, but we didn't quite enjoy having loads and loads of snow. I mean, you're talking, brushing your car off every day type of snow, right?
Oh, don't worry, it's not that cold out here. It'd actually be warm if it weren't for the wind.
Whereas here, it's you don't really have to, you're not shoveling as much as you would up there, right? Where in Southeast Michigan, right, you have, your spring and fall season are typically a little bit longer than, or if you were in northern lower peninsula or the Upper Peninsula. Now, the number 2 reason why we decided to raise our family in Southeast Michigan and Livingston County was, and I touched on this before, it was the education, right? I mean, there's excellent education for the kiddos. Like I said, I mean, I know there's 2 in the top 50 according to niche.com, right? Heartland schools and Brighton schools. But even the other schools, I mean, if you're looking to move to other areas, there's certainly no slouches either. I don't know the exact rankings, but those schools are, they're solid schools, Livingston County. So I mean, you have, Pinckney, you got Fowlerville, you got Howell, you got Whitmore Lake, Brighton, and Heartland, right? Our kids currently are going to Heartland schools, and if you're looking for outside of public education, right, there are some private education options as well, or even hybrid school options. I mean, there's all kinds of different options for you as far as education for the kiddo. And number 1 reason we chose to raise a family here in Livingston County, well, was, I guess partially was because of family, right? But it's also the people. My wife has a lot of family ties here. She grew up in Southeast Michigan and Livingston County as a whole, right? So, I mean, first and foremost, that was the major factor, right? I understand you all don't have family here, so that's why I wanted to lump in. There's the people, right? I mean, the people here are wonderful.
Oh, Tom, how are you? Yeah, no, I just had a couple hours between taking Bill to the airport and helping Frank move, so I figured, I was already cutting my lawn, why not just cut your lawn too?
Yeah, like I said, we're in a small little, kind of rural community, more or less, right? Where, you you go to a store or you're walking down the street, it's hard not to say hi to people, saying hi to strangers, even if you don't know them. You might not start up a conversation, but yeah, sometimes you might, right? And the other part is, we're typically super generous, right? I mean, our wonderful neighbors across the street, they're helping us in the wintertime with plowing our driveway, and it's not uncommon to see that, right? I mean, then, we thank them with, bringing over some bakery. So it's just kind of that neighborly, kind of friendly thing that you see a lot here around Livingston County, and even Michigan as a whole, right? You got the Midwestern nice. And it's funny, the other part about the Midwestern nice is, we apologize a lot, right? So I mean, it's like you bump into somebody at the grocery store or wherever it might be. It's like, oops, sorry. It's just the people here are friendly, and that's part of the reason why I love it. Those are my top 5 reasons for raising a family in Livingston County in Southeast Michigan. Now, look, I sure hope you found this helpful in maybe in your decision making of moving your family to Southeast Michigan. And I don't care, right, if it's Livingston County, if it's Oakland County, Wayne County, wherever that might be. I'm here to help you out. Like I said, days, nights, and weekends. You can reach me by text, call, email, whatever it is that works best. Let me help you. Until next time, we'll see you.